Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. Think about what actually happens in the physical world when you do something incredibly simple, like pulling out your phone and asking an AI for a quick chicken and rice recipe. You hit send, and boom, the answer is just there. But what's the actual staggering physical reality behind making that text exist?
It takes exactly 2 seconds for your phone to get that recipe back. But I want to slow those 2 seconds down, way, way down, to look at the massive industrial machine working frantically behind the scenes. Because in that literal blink of an eye, your prompt is traveling hundreds of miles through strands of glass thinner than a human hair. It's arriving at a building the size of several football fields, a building that, by the way, drinks as much electricity as a small city.
And to make those 2 seconds possible, well, Goldman Sachs projects that a mind-bending $7.6 trillion is going to be spent on infrastructure by 2031. Just wrap your head around that number for a second. This year alone, just 4 companies, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Meta, are dropping somewhere around $725 billion. I mean, Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang, is literally calling this the largest infrastructure build-out in human history. So, you really have to ask, where is all of this money actually going? If we want to understand the modern tech economy, we have to look right past the magical software. We need to look closely at the concrete, the power plants, and the literal plumbing. To understand why this spending suddenly just exploded out of nowhere, think about it like this. For decades, search engines like Google operated basically like a librarian. You ask for a recipe, and they just retrieve existing data from a massive index they already organized. It's super fast, and it's incredibly cheap. But AI? AI is a writer. It's generating answers entirely from scratch, word by single word, every single time you ask it something. And that generation process costs 10 to 100 times more computing power than a simple search.
This perfectly captures the massive pivot we've just gone through. For the entire history of Silicon Valley, software is basically an escape from the physical world, right? It was infinite, it had zero marginal cost, and it was entirely weightless. But AI completely reversed that. Software isn't infinite anymore. It is now poured in concrete, it's measured in megawatts, and it is strictly constrained by physical bottlenecks. Basically, software has become heavy industry.
So, let's treat the AI data center like a physical factory. What's the actual product coming off the assembly line? It's the token, a chunk of text, roughly 3/4 of a word. This is absolutely crucial to grasp because tokens are the actual unit of revenue in this new AI economy. When you pay for AI, tokens are exactly what you're buying. It's the widget that this entire multi-trillion-dollar factory produces. Next up is the flop, which essentially represents the microscopic physical labor required to manufacture those tokens. A flop is just a single floating point operation, basically one arithmetic calculation. Manufacturing a single word requires an AI model to do hundreds of billions of these calculations. So whenever you hear someone talking about a chip speed in flops, what you're really hearing is how many tiny invisible workers are physically on that factory floor. And finally, we have inference. There is a massive misconception here that I really want to clear up. A lot of people think that training the AI model is where all the money goes. But actually, training is just building the factory. That only happens once. Inference is running the factory. Manufacturing the answer every single time you send a prompt, that's inference. And by 2026, inference is projected to make up 2/3 of all AI compute. Okay, so how does this actually work mechanically? Your question takes a trip through fiber optic cables at 2/3 the speed of light. It hits the API front door, gets tokenized into pure math, and then hits the pre-fill phase where the model reads your entire prompt all at once. Then, the assembly line kicks into gear during decode, manufacturing your answer one single word at a time, before making the final trip home to your screen.
But running all those steps triggers a frankly terrifying escalation in electricity. Look, a traditional server rack, the kind that ran the internet for the last 20 years, draws about 10 kilowatts of power. Today, just one single Nvidia AI rack draws 120 kilowatts, and future racks are going to approach 600. We are literally packing the power demands of an entire residential neighborhood into a single cabinet the size of a phone booth.
And because of this unbelievable power density, the U.S. electrical grid simply cannot keep up. I mean, it was built brilliantly decades ago for maybe 1 to 2% annual growth, right? Not for tens of gigawatts just appearing overnight. Imagine buying a revolutionary new appliance for your house, and the power company tells you, yeah, you'll have to wait until 2029 to plug that in. That is literally the AI industry right now. They're stuck in a 4 to 5 year wait line just to get permission to plug their new data centers into the public grid.
To bypass these massive public grid delays, tech giants are completely rewriting their playbooks. They are spending billions to generate their own power behind the meter. Microsoft is literally paying to restart the undamaged nuclear reactor at 3 Mile Island. We're seeing an absolute boom in industrial natural gas turbines, fuel cells, and massive investments in small modular reactors, all just to guarantee uninterrupted electricity.
And here's where basic physics becomes a major problem for these companies. Electricity doesn't just get consumed and magically disappear. It turns almost entirely into pure heat. A single AI rack drawing 120 kilowatts generates the equivalent heat of 80 space heaters running on full blast, simultaneously, all crammed into one tiny metal cabinet. It's insane.
Traditional air conditioning physically cannot move this heat fast enough. You would basically need hurricane-force winds inside the server rooms. So this is forcing an industry-wide pivot to liquid cooling. They're pumping water, which carries heat something like 3,000 times more effectively than air, directly over metal plates sitting right on the chips themselves. In the modern AI factory, cooling isn't just a side gig anymore. It is literally half the job.
Now let's step on to the actual factory floor. Inside these servers, the traditional CPU acts kind of like a brilliant head chef, doing really complex, sequential tasks. But AI math needs something else entirely. The GPU acts as 10,000 line cooks all chopping onions in parallel, because it turns out running neural networks is basically just doing billions of tiny, identical math operations at the exact same time. The kitchen isn't about head chefs anymore.
And this is the foundation of Nvidia's empire, which allows him to command a massive 75% gross margin. But here's the thing, that margin isn't just because of their hardware, it is because of CUDA. CUDA is a 20-year-old software moat that virtually every AI engineer on Earth is already trained on. If you buy a competitor's chip, you basically have to retrain your entire workforce and rewrite all your code. That workforce muscle memory, that is Nvidia's true, unassailable competitive advantage.
But there's still a serious bottleneck on that factory floor. To keep those 10,000 line cooks fed with ingredients, standard memory spread across a motherboard just isn't fast enough. So companies are literally stacking memory chips vertically into microscopic skyscrapers known as high-bandwidth memory and gluing them right next to the processor. It fetches data at unimaginable speeds, which has turned memory from a cheap commodity into a scarce luxury good. When we pull back and map out the financial ecosystem driving all of this, we see a highly entangled, closed loop. You've got the hyperscalers spending billions, you've got the neoclouds acting as GPU landlords, and the AI labs creating the actual models. They are continuously trading billions of dollars in capital, compute, and equity with each other, just spinning this financial wheel faster and faster. But here is the glaring issue that investors are staring at right now. The only fresh money entering this closed loop, money that isn't just tech giants paying each other, is the $20 a month you pay for ChatGPT or whatever companies are paying for API access. That actual, real-world end-user revenue is just a tiny drop in the bucket compared to the $725 billion being spent this year alone. Which leaves us with this final, multi-trillion-dollar question. Is building the largest physical infrastructure project in human history to generate a chicken and rice recipe the greatest, most transformative investment ever made? Or is it the most expensive bubble we have ever seen? The public market is about to vote. And as you now know, the physical reality of this AI factory is going to be impossible to ignore.